Hey everyone, Michelle Dorothea here. It's day 28, and we're still going to follow along with the trend for the last day or two, which means that every episode is going to be about self-love. And today, kind of what I really want to talk about is punishing ourselves. So every time you make a decision that is not the healthiest for you, I really believe that you are punishing yourself because you don't think that you are worthy of love, or worthy of living the life that you want, or worthy of just being happy. And it's a weird process because once you start making decisions that are healthier for you, and you kind of make this effort to love yourself more and to make better decisions and to change your life, what happens is you start to become aware of your patterns and the decisions that you make. And instead of just making the same decisions, you start analyzing, how you got triggered and why you're making these types of decisions. And what will happen is you'll start to be aware of all of this, but you'll still continue to, make these decisions where they're not the healthiest for you. And then you'll do that for a while, and then slowly you'll start making better decisions, and then you'll make better decisions, and then you'll turn around and make, unhealthy decisions again. It really is one step forward, two steps back all the time. So expect it. But in that process, I think you start to beat yourself up even more when you are aware of how unhealthy these decisions are, yet you're still making these unhealthy decisions. Because, before that, you weren't even aware that you were necessarily making these unhealthy decisions. You might have blamed it on life or other people or other situations, and you just weren't aware of it. And you would still, punish yourself by making these decisions, but it wouldn't, you wouldn't be aware of it. Where once you start becoming aware of things, the very fact that that you're making these decisions and that they're unhealthy, and that you're creating this cycle of you not being worthy of anything, and you still only getting to live this type of life, which is unhealthy, you can really, 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 really beat yourself up and really get yourself into some holes of just, I don't like the word sabotaging, but, in a sense, it's really your mind just trying to keep you safe. But it will really, you'll be in these periods of time where you will just really not take care of yourself and expose yourself to unhealthy environments and unhealthy people and things like that. And, and then you got to pull yourself out of it. And what I usually do is I just kind of embrace it, and wait for it to pass. And I have learned that I definitely get in the moments of where I will wallow in it. And that's, definitely not healthy. But you do have to embrace it. Don't just try to immediately do something to pull yourself out of it, because then you're still, like, in a sense, telling yourself that part of you is not good, and that you can't embrace it, and that you have to shut it down. And you don't want to do that. You still want to embrace all parts of you always, and learn to love all parts of you. And then once you can embrace that, once you get to the other side, there will be more love, and there will be more acceptance, and a welcoming of you, of your whole being, and not just certain parts of you that you think are beautiful, and the other parts need to be shut down. So I hope all of that makes sense. I feel a bit kind of like I was rambling, but really I just want you to focus on, again, instead of just making decisions, and instead of just going on emotions, and instead of just reacting to, things and people and events that come into your life, take time to analyze and figure out and understand why you're making the decisions that you're making, instead of just making them, instead of just reacting to other people or reacting to, other things. We really do, every time you make a decision that's unhealthy, you really are, it's not just that you're making a decision that's unhealthy, you are reinforcing the belief that you already have about yourself, that, you're undeserving. And somewhere, when you were young, you did not get the love that you needed at some point, and you embraced that with all of your being and held on to that. And as you grow older, because it's something you still never want to face or acknowledge or deal with, it just kind of gets hidden away. But what happens is, because you still want to be loved so much and you still want to be worthy, you will grab on and hold on to anything and anyone that comes into your life that can fill that void. And for many people, it's different for everybody. I mean, mine was food and men. For some other people, it could be the gym or their career. It can be drugs, and it can be sex. There's lots of, just people, for whatever reason, they grasp on to different things. And although some choices are healthier than others, if it's still taking you away from something that you should be putting more focus on and putting attention on and dealing with, then it's not healthy. Because again, it's just getting you to ignore, this part of you that you think is so ugly, or that you think is going to kill you, or that you think that you cannot handle. And it's just not true. The one quote, "The only thing that you have to fear is fear itself," is true. Because when you for so long fight to not face something, the fear builds and builds and builds, and it almost builds to where, it's not your action, the fear of it, the actual fear might be like a level 6, but, because you fought it for so long in your mind, in your body, in your cells, the fear is now like a 30, you know what I mean? And you'll find that once you start facing your fears and facing these parts of you, you are going to sink low, like you're going to sink lower than you've ever been, because you're going through like these depths of yourself that you didn't know existed. And it is scary. It's very scary. But once you get through that, what happens is you start realizing, okay, I didn't die. I'm still here. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and like I said, there's so much love on the other side. And I believe that the reason why there's so much love on the other side, after you allow yourself to embrace these parts of you, is because now you've taught yourself, you've told all of your being that this part of us that we've fought for so long, that we've hid for so long, that we've tried to deny for so long, that we love that part too. And we embrace that part. And that part is a part of us, and it helps make us who we are. And it is just as beautiful as any other part of us. And that's where the love comes from. it's the love that you are saying to yourself that you are enough, that you are worthy, that all parts of you are beautiful, that you're going to love all parts of you. So that's it for today. I hope that, man, I'm like in a weird place right now because I was just like, it's just very emotional, like, you know, talking about all that stuff because it's, you know, just reminds me again of, you know, all the parts of myself that I've pushed away and things like that. And it really is, you know, as, you know, financially, I'm picking myself up now, but I mean, the last few months, you know, since I think December, it was like the worst financial situation I'd ever been in my entire life. And I can tell you one thing, like as bad as it got, I still would not take that away. I would not, you know, go back to serving or go back to, you know, the hospitality field or go back to doing a career that I wasn't happy with. You know, and I mean, I've been through, like I said, it's been hands down the most difficult time in my life, period. And, you know, not just that, but, you know, cutting out, you know, negative relationships and negative energy and, you know, breaking habits of putting myself in environments that were destructive to me and, you know, habits that I've had for years and years and years, you know, since I was in my early 20s, you know, breaking habits, you know, since I was a child, you know, and still working on them, you know, because like I said, it's one step forward, two steps back, but don't punish yourself when you fall back. Don't, you know, sabotage yourself when you get pushed back. Just know that it's going to happen. And even when you do sabotage yourself, don't judge that. Like, just go with the flow and embrace it. And then, you know, the next time around, you know, hopefully something will have shifted and you won't be in that environment again, you know, or maybe you will, but it only happened 2 more times. And then, you know, you won't be back in that space for another 6 months or something, you know, like, just know that that's how it goes. And, you know, if you think about it, you've had this same, you know, mindset, you know, for all your entire life. So when you really start trying to do the work to shift things, I started when I was 30, I'm 35 right now, you know, it took me 4 years, and then the last year I finally decided to really like do something that I'm passionate about. I mean, that was after 4 years of work, you know. So just know it is a process, and you have to rewire all of that you've had for so many years. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it is the reason why we're here. Like, we are here to find a million ways to fall in love with ourselves, to find a million ways to understand ourselves and embrace all of ourselves. And through that, you know, you are going to become who you are meant to become in this lifetime. You are going to achieve, you know, what you're meant to achieve, and you are going to be able to share your love and your light with so many. And that's why we're here. So that's it. It's getting dark. I got to get my butt in the gym. Sending all of you guys love, light, and healing energy. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay. Bye.